Three passengers on the Alaska Airlines plane that had to make an emergency landing after a door plug blew off mid-flight back in January have filed a lawsuit against the airline and Boeing for $1 billion, claiming negligence caused the incident.
지난 1월 비행 중 도어 플러그가 파손되면서 비상착륙했던 알래스카 항공편의 승객 3명이 과실로 인한 사고를 주장하며 항공사와 제조사 보잉을 상대로 10억 달러, 우리 돈으로 1조 3천억 원의 소송을 제기했습니다. Tell us more.
Right, so these three passengers that were on board the Alaska Airlines flight or plane, they are suing the airline as well as Boeing for $1 billion. The plane had to make an emergency landing after a door plug blew off mid-flight. And of course, they're saying that it was negligence that caused the incident. So they filed the complaint on February 20th, and all three of them, they were on board the Alaska flight 1282. And that was when the unused exit door detached from the aircraft minutes into a scheduled trip from Portland to Ontario, California back in early January. And the lawsuit is seeking both compensatory and punitive damages, and it will be determined at a trial. So they're saying that the reason why they are filing this lawsuit is to hold Boeing accountable for its negligence, which had caused extreme panic, fear, and post-traumatic stress. And it called the blowout on flight 1282 a preventable incident, which is why they are claiming that it was negligence that caused it.
Yeah. Well, the plaintiffs are saying they're suffering from post-traumatic stress, amongst other things.
Yes.
And there's a lot of money at stake here. Let's have a look at that particular word you mentioned there, negligence.
Negligence, right. So negligence means it's when you don't give enough care or attention to someone or something. So in this case, the airline Boeing as well as the airline, they didn't pay attention to a lot of the safety measures that should have been in place. Because, I mean, I saw an image of this and I saw videos of this. It's very scary, and it could be very dangerous potentially if, something flew out. If someone flew out of that plane, you could die.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. negligence라는 게 이제 법률 용어인데요. 여기서 말하는 게 태만, 과실, 부주의를 뜻합니다. 사실은 이제 우리 일상 대화 속에서는 부주의하다라고 할 때 쓰는 표현이기는 한데 법률 용어로는 이제 과실?
Yeah, it's a little formal, I guess.
과실이라고
If you say, oh, well, I mean, if you say I neglected to do something, I think that's a little informal. But if you use the word negligence, it sounds very formal.
그렇죠. 충분히 예방할 수 있었던,
Yes.
막을 수 있는 그런 사고였는데 이 항공사와 제조사의 과실로 인한 사고다라고 주장을 하고 있는 것이고요.
Yeah.
원고를 영어로 plaintiff라고 합니다.
Yes.
They have filed a lawsuit.
Right. So if you file a lawsuit, we commonly use the word we sue, but it means to present a formal document with a court that initiates a lawsuit.
그렇죠. File a lawsuit. 이건 하나의 표현으로 그냥 외우시면 될 것 같아요.
Yep.
소송을 제기하다라는 뜻입니다. 다시 한번 제가 읽어볼게요. Three passengers on the Alaska Airlines plane that had to make an emergency landing after a door plug blew off mid-flight back in January have filed a lawsuit against the airline and Boeing for $1 billion, claiming negligence caused the incident. Let's move on to the next headline.
Jeff Bezos has reclaimed the title of the richest person on Earth with a net worth of $200 billion, surpassing Elon Musk, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index.
블룸버그 억만장자 지수에 따르면 아마존 창업자 제프 베이조스가 순자산 2천억 달러, 우리 돈 266조 원을 기록하며 테슬라 최고경영자 일론 머스크를 제치고 세계 최고 부자 타이틀을 되찾은 것으로 나타났습니다.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, it's probably because of Elon Musk's company Tesla, where the stock's kind of tumbling in recent days or recent weeks. But so the Amazon founder's net worth was $200 billion or 267 trillion won, and Musk followed in second place at $198 billion or 264 trillion won. So he's not that far behind, I guess, in terms of, billionaires.
Right.
So as I mentioned, Musk has lost about $31 billion over the past year, while Bezos has gained $23 billion, and this is according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. So Musk, he had reclaimed the title of the world's richest person back in May of 2023, edging out LVMH's CEO Bernard Arnault, who runs one of the, of course, world's biggest conglomerates, including brands such as Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Celine. Right. And the three, they're called centi-billionaires. Musk, Arnault, and Bezos, they've been kind of in that sort of competition, where every year they see who comes up first, who comes up second.
And the centi there means 100,
right?
Yeah.
So they have their net worth is above 100 billion won, not won, dollars.
Dollars, yeah.
Right, but for us, it's kind of, I don't know, I don't really see the point in doing this because they're just all super rich people, right? And I believe Mark Zuckerberg of
Facebook,
Meta, he is following them closely behind in fourth place.
네, 좋습니다. 자, 그러면 여기 아까 언급을 해주셨는데 Jeff Bezos has reclaimed his title as richest man in the world.
Yeah.
Reclaim one's title.
Yeah, so reclaim something means you have you get it back again. So it's getting back something that you have lost or that has been taken away from you. So you're succeeding in claiming it back, getting it back.
그렇죠. reclaim에 re가 들어갔기 때문에 다시라는 의미가 들어있고요. claim a title이라는 게 어떤 타이틀을 얻는다는 뜻입니다. 다시 이 타이틀을 얻게 됐다. 이렇게 볼 수 있겠고요.
Yep.
이제 한동안 일론 머스크한테 좀 밀려있다가 또 다시 가장 돈이 많은 가장 부자 이 타이틀을 거머쥐게 됐고요.
The richest man on earth.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And his net worth is $200
billion.
billion.
Yeah. So when we're talking about net worth, it's, you put together all your assets, you add it all together, and then you take away the liabilities. So it's a better measure of someone's financial stability compared to just income. Because income, you're talking about how much money you actually make, but then you have to take away the expenses that, the spending that you do.
그렇죠. net라는 게 이제 경제 용어에서는 순자산, 순이익할 때 그 순의 뜻이 있어요. 그래서 worth는 여기서는 자산을 말합니다. 그래서 순자산이 얼마다라는 뜻이 되겠고, 지금 아까 언급해 주신 이제 세계 부호들이 $100 billion 이상의 net worth가 있어서 이거를 centi billionaire라고 한대요.
Yep.
우리 100년마다 이제 a century라고 말하잖아요. 이제 centi라는 이 어원이 100이라는 뜻이 있습니다. 근데 재밌는 게 이제 사전에 centi billionaire 영안 사전을 찾아보면은 슈퍼리치 이렇게 나오더라고요.
Yeah. I mean,
한마디로
I don't think I will ever see this kind of money. So you don't need to know how much money they exactly have. You just need to know they're super rich.
네, 그렇습니다. 네, 어쨌든 이 단어가 왜 이렇게 만들어졌는지 같이 알아두면은 외우는데도 도움이 되겠죠? 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Jeff Bezos has reclaimed the title of the richest person on earth with a net worth of $200 billion, surpassing Elon Musk, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. Now let's move on to the final headline.
The soaring cost of cocoa has forced confectioners worldwide to crank out new treats with less of the expensive ingredient or none at all.
코코아 가격이 급등하자 전 세계 제과업체들이 코코아를 원료로 하는 초콜릿의 함량을 줄이거나 아예 넣지 않은 신제품을 내놓는 방식으로 이에 대응하고 있습니다. 그래서 이제 초콜릿 가격이 많이 오르거나 아니면은 이제 좀 부정적으로 보면 꼼수라고 할 수도 있는데 초콜릿 제품의 코코아 함량이 많이 안 들어있는 거예요. 비싸니까.
Yeah. So they're filling it in with other things that are less expensive, which is really sad, I guess, sad news for a lot of chocolate lovers like me out there. So they say that cocoa prices have climbed to record highs. And also the important part is they don't expect it to go down in the near future. They're expecting it to remain high. And it's because the world's biggest producers in West Africa, they're grappling with drought. There's also been disease that's affecting the cocoa prices and structural problems that could linger for years to come. So, you can't keep raising the prices because people won't buy it.
Yeah.
So these confectioners, they're trying to do things that could try to decrease the amount of money that they're spending on making it so that they can still have a margin of profit. So what they're doing is they're shrinking the packages.
Right.
They're making it smaller so that, we're buying the same thing for the same price, but it's a lot less than what we used to have. Or they're filling, they're creating filled chocolate. So it's actually less chocolate and maybe they're putting in like nuts or caramel, other fillings to make it seem like it's the same size. Right. Or they're just using other ingredients because they say the cocoa butter is what makes it expensive, but they're putting in, I think, palm oil instead, trying to cut the prices.
I know you have a list of companies that are using all sorts of ways of sort of reducing the content of cocoa because it is so expensive.
Should I name them?
I guess we could. I mean, it's the news, so we could mention a couple.
So the confectioners that are, I'm sure it's not just them though, because if the price has gone up, it's probably most of the companies. But the major confectioners like Nestle, there's also Hershey, there's Mars. So the big names in this industry, they're using a variety of different ways to try to cut down on costs.
초콜릿 함량이 많이 줄어드는 이유는 바로 soaring costs of cocoa입니다.
Yeah.
Soaring cost?
When we talk about soaring, we talk about like eagles, birds, planes. It goes up, it flies. So when we talk about soaring costs, it's something that's increasing very quickly in amount. It could be a number, it could be a value, it could also be like a level. His grade soared.
그렇죠. 성적이 많이 올랐을 때도 soar를 쓰고요. S-O-A-R. 독수리가 하늘 높이 훨훨 날아다니는 것도 soaring eagle이라고 표현할 수 있는데 가격이 이게 고공행진을 하고 있는 겁니다. 자, 그다음에 crank out something.
Right, crank out something. It's a very colloquial term. So it means to produce a lot of something very quickly, but also it's kind of things that aren't very high quality.
그래요. crank something out는 빠르게 뭔가를 만들어낸다라는 느낌이 있습니다. 그러다 보니까 뭐 품질이 그렇게 높을 거라는 뉘앙스는 아니에요. 자, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. The soaring cost of cocoa has forced confectioners worldwide to crank out new treats with less of the expensive ingredient or none at all. And that's it for the headlines.